Hello everyone, I'm back with another video. I built a software called Trust Ledger. What it does is it it generates reports for SOC 2, ISO 27001, and NIST 853 audit automatically. So compliance shouldn't feel like fighting a forest fire every quarter. It should be a quiet, continuous conversation between your infrastructure and your auditor. I built Trust Ledger because I got tired, really tired of watching smart GRC teams burn cycles manually, screenshotting AWS consoles every quarter. You know the scene where 3 weeks before the audit, someone exports 47 cloud trail logs, another person manually checks 200 IAM users for multi-factor authentication, and someone else SSHs into production boxes to verify encryption at rest. Then everyone crowds into a Google Doc and tries to remember what CC 6.1 actually means. I worked with compliance teams at companies that treat security as an afterthought, and I worked with teams that treat it as a religion. Neither approach works well with quarterly audits. The first one fails audits, the second one spends so much time proving they're secure that they stop actually being secure. The insight is simple. Compliance is a continuous process, not a periodic event. If you can automatically collect evidence from your infrastructure every day, map it to every framework your auditor cares about simultaneously, and alert immediately when something drifts, you don't need to scramble. You just need to look at a dashboard. That's what Trust Ledger does. It's not a governance platform, it's not a risk register. It's the thing that lives in your infrastructure and quietly makes sure you're always ready for an audit without you having to think about it. So the problem it solves is it collects the IAM multi-factor authentication evidence, verifies S3 encryption, checks RDS database encryption, maps them to SOC 2 ISO 27001, NIST 853, detects drift control, all that in just 30 seconds. And it does it on demand every day. The return on investment isn't just time, it's confidence. When your evidence is collected automatically, your auditors trust it more. When your controls are mapped to every framework at once, you stop playing mapping games. When drift is detected in real time, you fix problems before they become audit findings. So, how does it actually work? Think of Trust Ledger like a security guard making rounds in a building. Step one, it collects. Every hour, on demand, think of it like a cron job. Trust Ledger walks through your AWS infrastructure with read only API calls. It checks every door, which is the IAM users, every camera, which is the CloudTrail, every safe, which is the S3 buckets, and every database, which is the RDS. It doesn't touch anything, it just observes. Step 2, it records. Each observation becomes a timestamped evidence record in new line delimited JSON. These live in your evidence directory organized by date. Think of this as your security cameras DVR, immutable, searchable, and lives forever. Step 3, it compares. When Trust Ledger runs, it compares today's evidence against yesterday's data. If an S3 bucket suddenly loses encryption or an IAM user appears without multi-factor authentication, that's a drift event. The system notices it immediately. Step 4, it alerts. When drift is detected, Trust Ledger fires a structured webhook to Slack, PagerDuty, or Microsoft SIM, or any HTTP endpoint webhook. The payload includes what broke, when, and what to do about it. And finally, step 5, it reports or it generates reports. Need to show an auditor what happened? Just run a specific command and get a beautiful HTML page or in a JSON format and a CSV report that map every findings to SOC 2, ISO 27001, and NIST 853 simultaneously. Now, let me show you how this software works. So I'm just gonna run the First, I'll run the dry run command, which uses mock data. So it use the mock data to go through CloudTrail, RDS, S3 buckets, IAM users, and then it collects all the data, and then it creates multiple reports. So this is a mock. This is done using a mock data, so it's not real. So now let me show you using a real AWS account. So here, this command uses my real AWS account, and it uses the real IAM user and checks all the permissions using the IAM user. Oh, actually, it should be reports. So it's going to my real AWS account, Trust Ledger demo, and then it did a bunch of tests, and then it created reports. So to see the reports, to show you how it looks, so this is the HTML report. So think of this, guys. This report is so user-friendly and it's easy to read in plain English that even a non-technical person will know exactly what is going on in real time. So all they have to do is open this HTML report and then see how many checks that were done. Totally 4 checks. How many succeeded, how many failed, and what exactly failed, and what are the findings. So if the external auditor allows, you can basically just send them this HTML page and say, hey, these are the findings. And they can just use that in their report and get their SOC 2 complaints done. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching.